G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another r/Idontworkherelady episode. Now with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some bloody good content. Our first post is by user Misunderstood104, titled, Simple Mistake Actually Made My Vacation Better. I travelled to Colorado this past September to attend a wedding with a weeks-long vacation, and I had never been there before. I got mistaken for an employee a couple of times throughout that week actually. I stayed by the Grand Mesa, but drove to Aspen for one of the days to see the Maroon Bells, like a 2.5-hour drive. The first situation was simple. While making a stop at Walmart, the woman who stopped me said my keys hanging from my belt gave the impression that I worked there. She apologized and we both continued shopping. The second situation was different. I'm finally in Aspen. To get to the Maroon Bells, you park your car, then buy a ticket for a bus ride to get there. I'm waiting for the next bus, which should be there in about 10 minutes. I'm in awe from the scenery. Even the area waiting for the bus was absolutely beautiful, so I'm taking as many pictures as possible. I notice an older man, in his probably 70s, kinda watching me. I ignore it because I know some people just stare sometimes. Old guy, he walks up to me and asks, "Don't have enough pictures already?" "Oh, there's never enough." And I chuckle a bit. "So, how long till the next bus?" I look at the time and I say, "Should be about 6 minutes or so if it's on schedule." "Is it on schedule?" "Man, you'd think you've seen enough of this already not to take so many pictures." "I think it's on schedule, though I've never been here before. I'm on vacation." The old guy looks super surprised, and then starts smiling and laughing, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you worked here." He points to my keys that I kept hanging on my belt loop. I thought those were like employee keys. We actually started chatting for a while. He was very nice, asked each other where they were from cause he was also on vacation. I told him Ohio, and he told me Florida. He actually lives pretty close to my grandmother, and we talked about that area. He asks me where else I've been in Colorado for my vacation. I told him about the wedding and about the Little Book Cliffs area to see wild horses, and he was so excited to see the pictures and videos I got of some horses. He told me it's harder to see them around that time, and he didn't get to see any when he went. He then introduced me to his wife, and I ended up sitting next to her on the bus, and we talked about Colorado and Florida on the way. Both amazed, looking at the scenery out of the window. When we made it to the Maroon Bells, we parted ways. I reached the area where you can see the full peak of the mountains. I can see the old guy looking around. He finally sees me, waves while yelling, "Hey, Ohio, what do you think of that?" I gave him a thumbs up and yelled back, "It's beautiful." That's one of the best experiences I've had with a stranger. Also, is there a thing about a keyring from the belt loop meaning employee? A bunch of keys hanging off a belt is often a sign of building and/or grounds maintenance crew who need to get into almost every place at one time or another. Also managers and security personnel, also lesbians. Can confirm, have been mistaken for a lesbian many times. How anyone could mistake a fat bald man with a bushy beard as a woman is beyond me, but it surprises them every time. Posted by user K then Reddit. Crazy lady blames me because she can't read a sign. Hey Reddit, first time poster. I was watching YouTube earlier today and saw Red Wheel's videos. I've now watched about 15 of them, and it made me remember a story that happened last year to me. Sorry for any formatting on mobile, and sorry that this story is extremely long. So, a little backstory. At the time, I was 20. I've been working at a business park for a car wash who cleans pretty much everyone in the offices near us cars. We wear red or blue polo shirts with the car valeting name logo on them and our own name next to it, which is important, with black cargo pants. And recently some offices were becoming vacant due to either moving elsewhere or financial collapse. It happened a lot, surprisingly. So last year, I was working on a car valeting lot in an office park. On this business park, we clean nearly 70 people's cars, so it's hard to remember who's who. However, on this very special day, this happened. There was 4 of us working. We've all just arrived to the lot, set up all the equipment, unpacked all we needed, and the other 3 went to the surrounding offices to collect keys from the office workers who have used us for years and trust us to move their cars ourselves. One of us always stays with the equipment just to be safe. This is when a woman slowly drives up past our valeting lot, seemingly looking for a specific office building when she pulls up right next to me. Now, I'm 6 foot tall, wearing the red polo of the company, on my phone, and checking my bank account to see if I got paid from the previous month. Pay was due the day before. Back turned to the woman at this point, not being rude, just knowing we have signs up saying what we are and how to contact us to book your car in for a wash. I hear her lightly cough 2 times, but think nothing of it. Then she clears her throat a little loud for me to turn my head to look at her for a quick second, when she grabs me by the shoulder, turning me around, looking me up and down, then smacks my phone out of my hand and yells, "Well, I should have known! Ignoring me for your phone. That phone shouldn't even be in your hands or at this place of work. It should be in your locker." I look at her confused, like, what the actual hell, lady? I shrugged my shoulder to get her off me, stepping back, trying to comprehend what just happened. "I'm sorry," she cuts me off. "Here, take my car, you inconsiderate brat, and park it up at Office 3 Bay 6, my personal parking space. Nowhere else, Office 3 Bay 6. She walks off towards her car. I pick up my phone and check it over for any damage. It's fine. When she storms back over towards me, we'll call this woman Crazy Lady, or CL for short. Me is me, SM will be site manager, and B will be my boss. The Crazy Lady walks up to me again, shaking her head, looking like she's frothing from her mouth in anger and pure rage, snatching my phone away from me and throwing it away from us. I say, "What the hell, lady? That's a brand fudging new. I told you, you shouldn't have it here. It's my own personal phone, and you have..." She cuts me off. "I don't give a damn if it's your phone or not. I'm in charge here, and I'm telling you now, take my car and park it up in Office 3, Bay 6. Crazy Lady then proceeds to throw her keys at me and point to her car before yelling, "Now, move it." Out of instinct, I caught the keys. Then I said, "I don't know what you think we do, but..." I turn around with my arms out. "But we don't move people's cars around for them, unless..." She screams at me, a literal primal scream. "Go move my car now, you idiot. I'm going to the manager and getting you written up for this laziness and refusal to work. Listen, miss, stop talking back to me and move the car." At this point, SM arrives on the scene to check around all the offices, make sure everything's okay, and see if there's anything that might need some work done so he can organize any repairs. He's a nice guy. I tried to explain again to the lady we don't just move cars around for anybody, and that they have to be booked in for a wash. Tried being the key word. When SM approaches, he says, "Hey Sam," not my real name. "Who else is on with you today, and do you have your passes this time?" "Hey SM, yeah, they're in the office." Points to our little shack where we take breaks and keep keys organized. "And it's just me, B, Brian, and John today." "Who the hell cares about that? Move the frickin' car already." SM looks visually confused and says, excuse me, who are you?" Crazy Lady then puts her hand over SM's mouth and yells, "I'm first, wait your turn." Then moves her hand and slaps him. "Now move the car." SM dropped to his knee, holding his face, when my boss comes running over. What the hell just happened? He immediately tries helping up SM. Crazy Lady says, "Finally, someone in charge and control. These 2 men just insulted me and berated me for about 5 minutes. I just wanted my car moved into my..." She looks at me with a deathly glare, "Office 3, Bay 6, private parking spot so I can go to a meeting. And these 2 just made me late, the foul-mouthed punks. They should be fired and kicked off this site. Lady, why did you slap him? I saw it happen, and why would he move your car?" My phone pings from the floor. Boss turns around and looks. "And whose is that phone?" "It's my..." Crazy Lady cuts me off again. "It's mine. That little idiot stole it and threw it on the floor." She then continued to insult me with him. SM says, "Look lady, I want you to take your keys back, takes the keys from me and drops them on the floor in front of her, and get the frick off my sight, or I swear to God I will call the cops and screw your day up. SM never swears and is always polite. This came as a real shock to us all. Crazy Lady says, "You can't tell me what to do. You're a nobody. While me, I'm somebody." SM says, "I run and manage this entire business park." "It's true, ma'am. He's the one in charge. I just run the valeting bay here." Boss went to pick up my phone during this and handed it back to me. "I believe this is actually yours as well, not hers, right? Unless she's got you on her lock screen." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks," quickly putting it in my pocket. Crazy Lady just stands there, dumbfounded, seemingly trying to process everything going on, before picking up her keys and dangling them in front of me. "Just go move my car, and I won't have to call the police." SM then grabs the keys and pockets them. "Ma'am, he's not moving your car, and in fact, you're coming with me till the police arrive. You've not only treated him, me, like dirt, you clearly have something wrong with you, and even slapped me for no apparent reason. What was the office number again?" To me. Office 3? "Oh, the newest one, eh? Convenient. They're also 2 months behind on rent. That wouldn't have to be your doing, would it?" To Crazy Lady. Boss calls for the police, moving away from the situation. Crazy Lady's like, "Wait, what do you mean you're waiting with me for the cops? I'm calling them on you." "Did she hit you at all or just me?" "No, just through my phone. Twice." SM then grabs the Crazy Lady by her arm and says, "Alright, ma'am, I'm placing you under citizen's arrest until the police come. You can come to my office, and we'll show the officers the cameras and everything that's happened." Crazy Lady slaps him again and tries running to her car, but her heel breaks off her shoe and she falls to the ground, screaming for help and that we're trying to take advantage of her. SM helps her back up right as the cops arrive on scene, when Boss Man says to me, "Come on, we've got work to do," and we walk away. About 2 hours later, the Crazy Lady gets put into a cruiser, kicking and screaming before yelling at me, "This is your fault." Apparently, she kept resisting arrest in the office and denying everything, even though it was all caught on camera. A tow truck arrived later, after they left with her and towed her car away. Crazy Lady was never seen again to this day a year later. The store manager told us at the end of the day that she doesn't even work at the office or any office on that site and was truly just crazy. And then everyone clapped. Posted by user Mikum Plee Nose Shoy, titled, "I don't work here, lady, that's why I refuse your tip." Obligatory, it happened a while back, out with a friend eating dinner at a restaurant. Friday night, and it was quite packed. I excused myself to go to the loo. On the way back, a lady stopped me. "My dear, would you mind showing me the restrooms?" So I pointed her the way. She gripped my arm and asked if I could accompany her, as she's quite elderly with poor eyesight and sometimes loses her balance. I helped her throughout the process, down to assisting her in powdering her nose. She handed me a note, quite a good sum I would say, when we got out of the bathroom to my utter confusion. Told her I didn't work there, was just being courteous by helping her out. Her face went red, she started apologizing profusely. I laughed, said it's all good, and took her back to her table. When I called for the check by the end of the night, our server told us it had been taken care of by the elderly lady who's dining with her equally elderly husband. I swing by their table to thank her, and she gave me a hug. "Yeah, lady, I don't work here, but that's okay. A little kindness never hurt anyone." Note to self, don't wear black blouse with black jeans to a restaurant where the server's uniform is an all-black ensemble. Edit. Woke up to many upvotes on this and 3 wholesome awards. You guys made my morning. Shared this as I think it's good to see good content, even if it's just a little kindness. Stay safe, everyone. Edit 2. Guys, these awards are marvelous. Thank you. Didn't know this would blow up this way. Just wanted to share a memorable experience of a good interaction I had for being mistaken for a server. Friends that I have customer service face. The reason why I usually get stopped by a lot of people asking for directions or help, lol. Be kinder to each other, okay? Stay safe, y'all. Posted by user _Francis, titled, No, you can't call me in. I don't work for you anymore. I used to work for a small family-owned restaurant. They were honestly awful. Their kids all worked for them too, and they were spoiled and very bossy, and of course favoured over all the non-related staff. I should have listened to the huge red flag at the interview where they said that they go through a lot of staff, other than the kids, because everyone they hire is stupid and doesn't last long. They treated me terribly, yelling at me for small things, making me do horrible gross jobs that no one else wants to do, and putting me down constantly. I even had several customers ask for the owner to tell them specifically how good my service was. They would brush it off and tell me the customer was wrong. One time I called in sick because I was vomiting. I was told, no, you're coming in. Sometimes we feel sick too, but we still make the effort. I was like, no, I will vomit. Pretty sure I can't be working in a food place tonight. And they hung up on me. After 2 months, I'd had enough and I quit. This was almost 2 years ago. A little while ago, I was out just browsing some shops when I got a phone call from an unknown number. I had deleted the owner's contact info, so I had no idea it was her. I'm like, hello? Hello, my name. Can you work tonight? Sorry, who is this? This is her name. I need you to work tonight. We're very busy. 6:30, okay? I don't work for you anymore? Yes, you do. You need to come in at 6:30. No, sorry. I resigned ages ago and I'm not available anyway. Bye. I hung up. She tried calling me back 3 times, then sent a text that said, yes, you are, 6:30. I blocked her number and went about my day. Bloody hell, OP. Top effort, I love that. Posted by user Wolf Shadow. Titled, he doesn't work here, he's just a nerd. After finding out about this sub on some YouTube videos, shout out to Redditor and r/ by the way, and shout out Markee, he's pretty good too. I thought a story of myself assuming somebody else works at a store would fit here. So, I have heard much about Warhammer 40k and fantasy over the internet. About 6 months ago, I found out my city has a Games Workshop store as well, so I thought why not, and went there. I managed to get a guy's attention of whom I thought he was a store employee, as he wore a fan shirt that was easy to mistake as an employee shirt. I talked to him about my interest into everything, and he explained the codex system, some tips for battles, and even what they had besides figurines like books, dice, battlefield pieces, etc. He managed to get me to buy a set of normal Necron soldiers that I haven't painted to this day, and some painting supplies, as well as the codex for them. I then went with him to the register, expecting him to get behind it and let me buy the stuff, but he just stood next to me. Confused, I asked him why he didn't get to the register until a lady stepped behind it and told the sentence that defined my visit there. He doesn't work here, he's just a nerd. It took me 5 minutes to comprehend what happened, but in the end, we all had a good laugh about it. The woman at the register explained to me that he is one of the best employees she never had because he sells the people more stuff than she does. Posted by user You Come Up With Name, titled, I want to speak to your manager. So, I was mailing a card that I bought in store, filling out an address off the side of the postal clerk's counter where people usually do that. This lady gets into the wrong line for Canada Post. The nice, older clerk very politely says, excuse me, miss, the line up for the post office is down aisle 5. So the lady goes, sees the 8-person line, then comes back and starts yelling at the clerk about the signage not being clear that the line was in aisle 5. The clerk was trying to be kind, and this woman calls her a stupid tramp. At which point I yell, hey, she doesn't need to take your crap. Either get in line or get the hell out of the store. She goes on a rant, we exchange more words. Then she yells, I want to speak to your manager. I calmly say, I don't work here, beat it. So she pivots and speed walks out of the store yelling, stupid tramp, on her way to the door. So satisfying, but fully expected a parking lot fight when I left the store. Posted by user Cyrax1, titled, My Russian Friend vs. Karen. So, I currently work at a McDonald's as I am an entitled young person. You'll figure out why I quoted that. This McDonald's is across from a Walmart, and today I decided to take a shift for someone. A good solid 8-hour shift, actually. Anyway, after work I decided to get some food for dinner and snacks for later at the Walmart. Everything is fine and dandy, and everyone seemed to be in a good mood. Since I just got out of work, I was still in my uniform. Both our McDonald's uniforms and Walmart uniforms use pretty much the same pants, or at least everyone in Walmart uses the same pants as the McDonald's here. The pants are just some black basic pants and are made of polyester and some other materials, so they look nice. It was also a rainy day, so everyone was wearing sweaters and whatnot because it wasn't ideal to go outside in this weather. After grabbing dinner and snacks, I leave the store to go meet up with a really close friend who was waiting to pick me up outside. I load the snacks into the back of my car, and my friend asked me if I got my cousin a birthday present because it was his birthday yesterday. Unfortunately, I forgot, so I run in and grab a $50 Xbox gift card for him, and coming back out I hear someone say, "Hey you!" And even though it was rainy and windy, I could tell it was a snobby directed tone. A Karen tone. I continue walking to the car, and at this point I hear a click of her high heels, and the voice again. Just a lot louder, and unfortunately the voice got louder too. This Karen was behind me and calling for me. She gets right up in my face, and in a really violent tone says, "Excuse me, you better put my card away, you little..." insert the SH word here. I reply with a shy and quiet, I don't work here." This is mainly because I'm small and short and petite, and this absolute manager calling unit of a Karen is yelling at me. I also don't have good social skills because I'm transgender, and I'm self-conscious about it, so initially I thought she was one of those. The Karen blurbs out another, "Put my card away, Tiny." Yeah, I know, was called Tiny by a Karen. Thank God my friend was watching, because she got out of the car and was like, "She doesn't work at Walmart." The Karen scoffs and replies back, "He looks like he does. Besides, he's a young person. He can go put the card away anyway." My friend is kind of overprotective of me, as well as pure, loud, no balls Russian. My friend walked over to this Karen and was like, "He is a she and she doesn't work here. She is also not your slave regardless of age or anything." My friend raises her voice way higher than this Karen who's bickering on how hard it is to push a cart away. Ironic, I know. And screams out, "You better take your stupid, lousy, no goddamn motherfrickin'," I'm not putting swear words out here because I'm nice like that, "overprivileged self over to that cart return yourself, and you're gonna put it there." The Karen just shut up and put the cart away. The Karen was about to open her mouth and say something, but my friend just screamed, "Idi nahuy," which means "go screw yourself," or something like that in Russian. That was that. My friend told me that she was getting the last word in regardless. We drove off and went home to eat dinner and hang out. Epic. Posted by user Ghost Chaos, titled, "Of course I'm bad at a job I don't have." This happened about a while ago, but I was just reminded of it and thought it belonged here. I was like 12 to 13 at the time and looking at stuff for a camping trip me and my dad were going on next week. Me and my dad were looking at some tools we didn't really need, but would just make things easier. We had some stuff picked out and were on our way to check out when my dad decided that we didn't need the tools, as it was probably a waste of money. I was a little bummed out because I really liked the tool I had picked out, but money was a little tight at that time, so I understood. I offered to take the tools back to their proper places and take them out of the cart. Just to get some things clear, I'm fairly young at the time, but I was a larger guy. I was also wearing baggy jeans and a coat that made me look even bigger. Also, the uniform for the employees was cargo shorts and a blue polo with the store name on the chest and sleeves. So I get back where we got all the tools and started to put them back. I was about halfway done when a guy walked up to me and asked if I knew where the fishing hooks were. To which I respond, "I think they're a couple aisles down, but I'm not sure." Then he starts asking me some other questions I don't know the answers to, then says, "You're not very good at your job." Confused, I respond with, "Excuse me?" He quickly gets defensive and says, "Calm down, it's just a joke." "Sir, I don't even work here." To which he responded with, Then why are you stocking the shelves? I tell him how I'm here with my dad and just putting some stuff back. At this point, I had been gone for a few minutes, so my dad came to find me. This man is starting to get visibly upset, so I start to back off and he starts to get loud. I know you work here, stop trying to get... As he was saying this, my dad turns the corner behind him and taps him on the shoulder. Excuse me, what are you doing with my son? My dad is a huge dude. He's 6'5" and hella buff. The guy I was talking to was maybe 5'11" if I'm being generous. His face goes completely white as a literal giant stares down at him. Needless to say, the random guy quickly walked away, clearly embarrassed. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this one today. Tell me what you thought of these I Don't Work Here Lady stories down in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys have to say, not gonna lie. This has been Markee. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.